guys. Today I'd like to take a look at a mask that is truly a classic design, and this is one version of it, and I've featured a couple of other versions of it in the past, but this one is the 2004 Be Something Studios Fang face. Now this one is a mask that is extremely popular. The design is extremely popular, and it's been produced by Be Something Studios for many years, decades. Now this one is what I'm calling a 2004 mask, but there is no date on the mask. The tag itself does not contain a date. There's no tag inside showing a date, but I'm calling it a 2004, and the reason is that in researching this mask, I went back to the Wayback Machine at archive.org, and there you can see previous versions of websites, and I researched the Be Something Studios sites, and what I found was this snapshot of the home page, and as you can see, that home page matches this tag that's on there. So this may be a year or two off of that date. By 2006, this version was not offered in the catalog. So I'm going to go with 2004. That's as close as I can tell that this mask was produced. But again, this was produced for many decades, and it's really a great design. This particular sculpt was the second version of this mask. So there was an original Fang face sculpt, and then this was the replacement sculpt to that original. So before I get into the story of that resculpt, let me first just show you a mask that I featured in a previous video, just for comparison, and that is this original 1977 Fang face male. So this Fang face, as I discussed in a couple of other videos, was available in a male and a female version for many years. And this brown is the male, the female is green in this version. And so this was the replacement sculpt for the original sculpt. And the reason that that was resculpted, and I've heard this for the first time, I heard this from the owner of Trick or Treat Studios, Chris Zeffro. And so here's a quick clip from a previous video of my interview of Chris talking about the resculpt of this mask. And you had mentioned that you had to do a lot of work on this mold to actually get it production ready.
Yeah, apparently there was a lot of latex and that was just completely glued into the mold, and it just wasn't coming out, and it took them a long time to get everything out and clean it. That's why if you look at our copy, I think it has a little more detail than some of the originals, because that original mold had so much gook and that a lot of the detail kind of got smoothed out a little. I've looked at two side by side. Seems like there's a little more detail now.
Yeah, and this is actually, you had mentioned a true reissue, because it's actually being produced at the Zagoni.
Yeah, Zagoni's doing it for us. We're doing the plush hood. We're doing both the green and the brown Fang face, and then we also offer, it's over there, but the female Fang face, which was the replacement, because what they ended up doing, the mold was so shot that they ended up resculpting the mask, and they called it the female Fang face.
Yeah, I'll take a... And as Chris said, the original mold had become impacted with latex in all the detail, and it became unusable at some point. And as I discussed in a previous video and showed a comparison, all the detail sort of smoothed over in the sculptural detail, the small hash marks and things like that. And so this mask was resculpted into this version. But I wanted to confirm what Chris said about it. Not that he would not know, but I just wanted to confirm. So I contacted Zagoni Studios, and Zagoni Studios is currently the name of Be Something Studios company, named now after the founder's last name, Zagoni. But it's the same studio, same people working at the studio. And I contacted Zagoni, and I talked to Nell there at Zagoni, and she confirmed for me that this Fang face second sculpt was as a replacement because of the deterioration of this first version. So getting back to this first version, this one is a mask that was introduced quite some time ago, this version. Let's take a look here from Pete's website at the Devil's Workshop. Thank you, Pete, for your great archive of catalogs. Here's a 2001 catalog, and you can see in this catalog the female is the original sculpt still in this catalog, but the male is the newer sculpt. So they are seen side by side in that catalog. And this mask is one that has been reissued now, as well as the reissue, as I've covered in a previous video, of the original sculpt Fang face. This one has now been reissued. So it's available at Trick or Treat Studios right now, this version, the second version. Here's a screenshot of the Trick or Treat Studios website showing it. And in addition to that availability at Trick or Treat Studios, here's a quick shot of Dr. Lady doing a video on the Trick or Treat Studios version of this mask. And what's interesting is if you look at the photo of the mask on the Trick or Treat Studios website, you can see that just like the original sculpt, this mold has apparently been cleaned. So this version is the original mold. I can see all of the tiny details that show me that this is the original mold. But the newer version, the reissue by Trick or Treat Studios, has a lot more detail in all of the fine hash marks and lines. So I can tell by comparison to the photos that although it's the same mold, it has been cleaned and refreshed for this reissue. And what's kind of neat too is that the Fang face mask is available right now on Zagoni Studios website. So you can get it again from Zagoni, this original sculpt as well. And so a couple of the differences between this version that I show here, this 2004, about 2004 version, and the original 77, is that the hood on this one is sort of a felt type of material. The original hood that you saw a few minutes ago is a pretty nice thick plush hood with a Velcro closure in the front. This one does not have a closure in the front. But this Fang face mask has always been a hooded mask like this, sort of a 3/4 mask with a hood. This one does have the elastic band, which as far as I know, all versions have had. And here's a photo of the inside of this mask. I won't take this off the stand, but you can see "Bye Bye" is written into the mold, as it is on many Be Something Studios masks. That's by Bill Yeastrom. So it's Bill Yeastrom's initials, by Bill Yeastrom. And this paint job, you know, it varies through the years. I kind of like this paint job. It's very, it sort of has, you know, some reddish highlights here. You can see sort of just a mist of red around the teeth and on the cheeks and down into the mouth. It's a great sculpt. You know, as always, Be Something Studios has impressive depth to their molds. They have these long teeth, and it just, you know, they are definitely impressive as far as their ability to mold tricky sculpts like this. And yeah, so you know, this tag, it's interesting too. On this tag, it just says Fang here, not Fang face. Of course, it's always been Fang face. In this case, I cannot find a catalog from this year. I don't know if it was ever known as Fang in the catalog. I don't think so. or the website, but on this tag it is Fang. And on the back, it's nice because it is a good old-fashioned care tag. Tells you how to take care of your mask and how to wear your mask and all that kind of stuff. And it says, handmade at Be Something Studios, artwork by Bill Yeastrom, Bye Bye Incorporated. And as always, you know, they were, in the past, they were at this time distributed exclusively by Franco-American Novelty Company. So that's shown right here on the tag also, although it does say the Be Something Studios website address at the bottom. So yeah, so, you know, I know in my videos you might be getting a Fang face overload. I think this is the third video on this character, but it certainly is an iconic character, one of my favorites, and I thought I'd do one on this second sculpt, just to sort of show the differences and sort of the evolution of this character. There's other types of Fang face like characters through the years that Be Something Studios has released, more extreme characters, but you know, this is the second sculpt, and as I've come to find out, it's due to the mold being unusable and being worn out, and so I think that's a pretty interesting history. So that is the Be Something Studios Fang face. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.